You're probably wondering why we're calling our podcast Two Vets One Day. Well, Frankie and I are both veterans of the U.S. military, and we also share the same birthday, July 25th. Isn't that rather interesting that we met through TikTok by coincidence? Anyways, you're probably getting tired of hearing my voice speaking, but you know what? You got about the next maybe 2 hours of hearing it anyway. But at least you get Frankie's voice to break up mine. Hello, welcome to the Two Vets One Day podcast. Frankie and Arroyo will be getting on shortly. They're just doing some last minute setups. In the meantime, follow us on our other social medias located at twovetsOneday.com. If you haven't done so already, please ensure that you have snacks as well as a hydration shorts, preferably water, or if you're feeling a little spicy today, something a little extra. You're probably wondering why we're calling our podcast Two Vets One Day. Well, Frankie and I are both veterans of the U.S. military, and we also share the same birthday, July 25th. Isn't that rather interesting that we met through TikTok by coincidence? Anyways, you're probably getting tired of hearing my voice speaking, but you know what? You got about the next maybe 2 hours of hearing it anyway. But at least you get Frankie's voice to break up mine. Hello, welcome to the Two Vets One Day podcast. Frankie and Arroyo will be getting on shortly. They're just doing some last minute setups. In the meantime, follow us on our other social medias located at twovetsOneday.com. If you haven't done so already, please ensure that you have snacks as well as a hydration shorts, preferably water, or if you're feeling a little spicy today, something a little extra. You're probably wondering why we're calling our podcast Two Vets One Day. Well, Frankie and I are both veterans of the U.S. military, and we also share the same birthday, July 25th. Isn't that rather interesting that we met through TikTok? Anyways, you're probably getting tired of hearing my voice speaking, but you know what? You got about the next maybe 2 hours of hearing it anyway. But at least you get Frankie's voice to break up mine. Hello, welcome to the Two Vets One Day podcast. Frankie and Arroyo will be getting on shortly. They're just doing some last minute setups. In the meantime, follow us on our other social medias located at twovetsOneday.com. If you haven't done so already, please ensure that you have snacks as well as a hydration shorts, preferably water, or if you're feeling a little spicy today, something a little extra. You're probably wondering why we're calling our podcast Two Vets One Day. Well, Frankie and I are both veterans of the U.S. military, and we also share the same birthday, July 25th. Isn't that rather through TikTok by coincidence? Anyways, you're probably getting tired of hearing my voice speaking, but you know what? You got about the next maybe 2 hours of hearing it anyway. But at least you get Frankie's voice to break up mine. Hello, welcome to the Two Vets One Day podcast. Frankie and Arroyo will be getting on shortly. They're just doing some last minute setups. In the meantime, follow us on our other social medias located at twovetsOneday.com. If you haven't done so already, please ensure that you have snacks as well as a hydration shorts, preferably water, or if you're feeling a little spicy today, something a little extra. You're probably wondering why we're calling our podcast Two Vets One Day. Well, Frankie and I are both veterans of the U.S. military, and we also share the same birthday, July 25th. Isn't that rather interesting that we met through TikTok by... Anyways, you're probably getting tired of hearing my voice speaking, but you know what? You got about the next maybe 2 hours of hearing it anyway. But at least you get Frankie's voice to break up mine. Hello, welcome to the Two Vets One Day podcast. Frankie and Arroyo will be getting on shortly. They're just doing some last minute setups. In the meantime, follow us on our other social medias located at twovetsOneday.com. If you haven't done so already, please ensure that you have snacks as well as a hydration shorts, preferably water, or if you're feeling a little spicy today, something a little extra. You're probably wondering why we're calling our podcast Two Vets One Day. Well, Frankie and I are both veterans of the U.S. military, and we also share the same birthday, July 25th. Isn't that rather interesting that we met through coincidence? Anyways,
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, and of course, it's Royal Sergeant Annie for another episode of Two Vets One Day. What do you think about today's agenda?
I think today's agenda is going to be fairly nice. You got some really good, strong topic and some fun ones in there.
Very cool. So let's do a quick intro, all right? We'll start with we got U.S. airstrikes in Yemen, right? I don't know much about that. I haven't really read up about that at all. But, you know, it is what it is. We got major storm impacts across the United States, so that's a problem as well. UK Prime Minister's peace challenge to Russia. Latest UN climate report. Spoiler alert.
That's gonna be so good.
Spoiler alert. Humans are the cause, apparently. And then we got Assassin's Creed Shadows released, so that's pretty cool. Have you seen anything about that yet?
No, but now I'm gonna look it up.
And then we got JRPG releases and co-op gaming highlights or whatever. I don't know. And then something that I'm big into right now: the Bigscreen Beyond 2.
I saw a video about that the other day.
Its announcement and then my not too well thought out pre-release purchase of it. Oops.
Not too well.
And then we got the controversial Varjo XR4 subscription. So we're going to look into that and see what's going on with that. Hypersonic drone technology and cancer research breakthrough. I think we talked about the cancer research stuff before, but this might go a little more in depth about what's going on. I don't know. We'll see. Upcoming solar eclipse. Florida man arrested in shopping cart with a sushi feast. So there's that.
What the fuck?
And then celebrity updates, including Gene Hackman's passing, Selena Gomez's new album drama. Or maybe not. I don't know. We don't have to go there, right? And we don't really care about Disney's Snow White release, do we?
That was actually one of the movies I was going to announce. Soiled it!
Anyway, so top news of the week. We got the Middle East conflict. We just talked about a little bit about that. The U.S. resumed military operations in Yemen, targeting the Houthi rebel positions in a significant escalation of involvement. So what do you think about that?
I haven't really heard much about that, to be honest. The only thing I heard was there was a strike that went out, and apparently it was supposed to be like rebel people, but it was like women and children.
Ooh.
I don't know, that was something I heard. I don't know how absolutely true that is, because TikTok's not the news.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
The videos of it were pretty. They didn't look like rebels.
Definitely not a viable place to get your legitimate news.
Yeah.
And then severe weather events. Major storm systems affected the U.S. We had blizzards. I had a blizzard. There were tornadoes, resulting in at least 17 fatalities. So,
ooh, that's terrible.
What do you do in the Carolinas in order to prepare for whatever happens? Like, what kind of like severe weather do you have, and what preparedness you got in terms of tips?
So we have like very heavy rain, very strong winds. Basically, hurricane season is like one of the biggest things that we get.
Yeah.
Our main thing is just evacuate, get out of there. But besides that, the most I've ever done was sandbags and putting wood over my windows.
Okay.
But other than that, that's pretty much like all that we have. There was a little mini tornado that tore up some of the city up the street from me, but it wasn't that bad.
Man,
but on top of that, remember how we were talking about all these weeks about how California was on fire?
Yeah.
Well, Myrtle Beach was on fire.
Oh my lord! What?
Yeah, the one place I never thought would have caught fire.
Myrtle Beach.
Oh well, I mean it's surrounded by water. I don't know how it's on fire.
Well, we can't use that ocean water. Of course, the last time we talked about that, we're not allowed to use ocean water because salt or whatever.
Yeah, but then they go to like people's houses and steal the water from their pools. It's full of chlorine.
Well.
And bleach and shock treatment.
I get. What?
I just threw bleach in there as a wrench.
You say shock treatment?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a powder that you put in your pools. It's called shock.
I don't know nothing about pools, algae. So you know what? We're gonna move on from this.
It prevents algae.
So yeah, we had a nice, cool blizzard that happened this week. We had and then this kind of ties into what's been happening this last week or so. So my grandmother, she passed away. God rest her soul. And well, certain things have to transpire when that happens. So, she passed away March 13th. And then we had a visitation on the 18th, which is, you visit with everybody and you get to see her in the casket and, visit with her and family. And then the day after, on the 19th, we had a blizzard. So that sucked. Yeah, and then the funeral the day after, which was yesterday. So.
Yeah, would you call what'd you call it? The meeting thing?
Visitation?
Yeah, you see, you call it visitation. We call it awake.
Awake?
Yeah, I don't know why it's called awake, but...
I don't know why it's called awake either. Visitation sounds more like what it's supposed to be. I don't know.
I don't make the words, man. This is what I grew up with.
So yeah, that happened, but yeah, the that stupid blizzard. It was 80 degrees the day before,
and it just dropped.
And it dropped with blizzards and everything, and then the day after was like 48, 50 degrees.
Did he just came over with a thing of chloroform?
Something happened. I don't know. I have no idea. So anyway, now that we got the all that weather stuff and updates out of the way, there's the UK that challenged Russia. So Prime Minister Keir Starmer, whatever his name is, publicly called on President Putin to demonstrate concrete steps toward peace in Ukraine.
Ukraine?
Yeah. How do you think that's gonna go?
I don't know, man. He's one crazy dude, man.
Putin be Putin?
Yeah, pretty much. I really don't think Putin really cares what anybody else is saying. I think the only thing that's stopping him is having things being sent to him that he doesn't want.
Oh, I see.
So I think there's some threats that are stopping him from saying, no, screw that, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's definitely more than what it's saying.
Right.
But there's definitely more than diplomatic strategy involved.
Oh, there should always be, honestly.
I mean, it's a backup.
Anyway, I don't really have much to think about that. I mean, I just don't think anything's going to happen. I mean, who's going to look at, any kind of, prime minister like that and go, oh my God, he's serious, I'm shaking in my boots. I wouldn't, especially if I was Putin.
I mean, if it was like Pearl Harbor all over again, then I'd consider be like, ooh, I wouldn't want to mess with that guy.
Right.
But besides that, I mean, you'd be like, yeah, don't do this. We're gonna do. I'm like, okay, and like, there's a line,
And then my foot just goes.
just cross it.
Nice. All right, so that leads us up to the next thing to talk about, which is climate emergency. The UN report. There's a UN report that confirms the past decade was the hottest recorded with unprecedented carbon dioxide levels. Do we have any urgency or solutions that we might have for that?
Question. Carbon dioxide is the air we breathe out, right?
Yeah, it's the stuff that the trees take in.
Okay. So does carbon dioxide only come from the attic?
What?
Does it only come from the attic?
Did you say attic?
Yes.
Okay, well, hold on. What?
Carbon dioxide, like when we exhale, it's carbon dioxide. Right? When you burp, you still release air. Same thing. There's some carbon dioxide in there because you're exhaling on a burp.
What does that have to do with attics?
The attic or the basement?
Oh. No, it's whatever comes out after you've breathed in the oxygen, you emit carbon dioxide.
All right, because I did have a solution for that. If you were, if it was coming from if it did come out from the basement, I did have a solution. But I don't think guys would take on to it that much. Anyway, moving on.
Ew. Ew about everything you just mentioned.
Dude, I have 1,001 ideas. It's not my fault.
Oh my lord.
I mean, they're not all the cleanliest.
So do we have any urgency with this, or do we think it's more of a matter of being more natural than it is unnatural?
I don't even know what that meant.
Well, okay. So we all know that climate change is a thing. It's real. Everybody across the spectrum agrees that it's real now at this, today's day.
Mhm.
Okay. So how much of it is actually caused by humans that we can actually control, and how much is it more just natural phenomenon?
Dude, I think it's like 80% fucking human.
You really think that much?
Yeah, I really think so.
I'm like on the opposite spectrum here. I think that a lot of it's natural, and we barely have any actual effect on what's happening. That's what
Are you talking about like the human existence itself, or are you talking about like man-made items?
What do you mean?
Like, are you saying like, global warming because, the human body produces this much carbon dioxide? Or are you saying, well, we have cars, we have factories, we have all this...
The cars and factories part.
Okay, so it's anything that's man-made that can affect global warming. Yeah, so I think that'd be most of it. I mean, honestly.
I don't.
Because... Really?
Yeah.
I think we're the biggest push on that.
I think what we're doing doesn't really affect what's going to happen. Not as much as people think.
There is deterioration. But...
I mean, come on. We've had these climate scares for a very, very long time, and nothing has come of it. Only a few moments in history have certain things like hairspray and stuff like that actually affected the world positively. The rest of it has been pushed back by 20 years every time, or 100 years.
I think most of this is Elon Musk's fault with his rockets that can't make it to space.
They made it to space though.
No, he had like 2 of them blow up in the sky.
That was planned.
So what? I think it's his fault.
Oh, okay.
Him and his Teslas.
Honestly, it's also it's also what's his face's Amazon's creator's fault for all those books that he sold.
Oh, I forgot his name. I almost said Zuckerberg. Yeah. That's Facebook.
Yeah, McDurkinston. Would you stop that?
Yeah, sure, whatever that guy is. What you do? Is your hand okay, man? You're wigging out.
Weirdness is happening. Okay, so anyway, moving on. We got some gaming news and releases. How about that? So,
we're getting exciting stuff.
First up, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, listen. It's set to release, yesterday. So it should already be released as of yesterday. However, it is from Ubisoft, as everybody knows. Ubisoft does all the Assassin's Creed games. It's set in 16th century Japan during the Azuchi Momoyama era. Players can explore an open world featuring castle towns, bustling ports, peaceful shrines, and war-ravaged landscapes. The game introduces dual protagonists, 2 people. This isn't the first time this has happened, actually. The other one, I can't remember the name of it, but it had 2 British people, a male and a female, and then we had another one that was in Egypt with a male and a female, and another one that was Viking, male and a female. You noticing a pattern?
Another one. Oh, yeah.
And, with this one, it might be 2 females. I'm not exactly sure, but the first one's name is Naoe or something, a shinobi assassin, and Yasuki, a legendary African samurai, inspired by the historical figure of the same name. Each character offers distinct playstyles, blending stealth, parkour, and combat. The game is available on multiple platforms. That's PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Amazon Luna, Macs with Apple Silicon, and PC.
They have flavored silicone?
Sure do.
Oh, dude, I can just see myself like sealing in the tub, and I'm like,
Huh. All right, then. So what do you think? Are you going to look at Assassin's Creed, maybe play it?
oh yeah, dude. I'll definitely like. I've never really been big fan of like the Assassin's Creeds, and it's just because it's not my kind of style. But I do like the stealth mode. That's something I've always liked about games. Which is I don't know if you remember Techu. It was a PlayStation 2 game.
No.
The ninja game. All right, well, it's a ninja game called Techu. You played as this ninja, and you had to sneak around and all this extra stuff. But I really love stealth games. Same thing with like war games. I love being a sniper.
Right.
I love the stealth of a sniper. You know, you have to plan and be precise with every shot that you take. So same thing with being an assassin. You have to plan every shot that you take. So I'm definitely into it. It's just I know some of the Assassin's Creeds kind of like dig into each other, and they kind of go back sometimes. Like sometimes they have a reference to another one. You're like, what? Or it's like a character or something. But that's the only reason why I don't like it, is because I don't know the entire story. But I do like the stealthiness of the game. So I'm definitely gonna look into this one because that one does sound good, and it's Japanese stuff. So I'm definitely gonna be into it.
Yeah, I'm interested.
I have to check it out. Oh, and don't forget, we gotta get repo started too. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
I just thought about it.
So then we also have some JRPG and anime game highlights. If you really care about that kind of stuff. There's Xenoblade Chronicles X. That's Japanese. A definitive edition released March 20th on Switch with all improved visuals and new content. Bleach Rebirth of Souls, a fighting game, launched March 21st. Oh, that's today. Marking the franchise's return after 15 years. Then Atelier Yumiya, The Alchemist of Memories, launched today, continuing the beloved RPG series. And then we have some indies in multiplayer. Immortals,
I like one of these, I'm gonna tell you that.
a roguelite with 33-player co-op, entered early access on March 18th. Upcoming, Killing Floor 3 scheduled for March 25th release.
I love Killing Floor 2, but 3 I'm super excited for.
All right, then. Then we have gaming hardware and tech. So we got rumors of a Nintendo Switch 2 released later this year. MetaQuest's latest update features advanced hand tracking gestures as well. So, what are you anticipating most?
To be honest, I had an idea for Nintendo that I'm like all for, and I don't want to say it here though. But let's just say Pokemon is gonna become such an amazing game if I can get a hold of them. Also for the MetaQuest, I'm not really that concerned about MetaQuest anymore. But I do like keeping up with the new advances that they're making, because one, a MetaQuest is basically it's pretty affordable. It's as much as a PS5, but I mean it's way more interactive than a PlayStation.
Agreed.
And on top of that, you know, you don't need anything. All you need is an internet, and boom, you're done. You don't need to plug it into the wall. You don't need to do anything else. Just connect it to the router, and boom. But I'm telling you, MetaQuest is going to be the first headset that's not going to come with controllers. Like, it's going to have everything ready for you with no controllers necessary.
I am not really a fan of that, though. That's the thing. I don't think controlling the system with just your hands is going to be a viable solution for all the games. You're going to have controllers.
Well, I mean, yes, yeah, at some points, but I mean, with as interactive as games are, like the realism of holding a weapon, you know, holding a pew-pew, you know what I mean? Like, you can do all that just by like picking it up in the game and acting like as if you're doing it. Now, I understand it's going to be a little wonky, but I mean...
Well, yeah, but you got like movement, right? So... You know, yeah, the Quest 3 has the ability of mapping out your house, and you can move around the house, and certain games can take advantage of that and create maps. that
Yes,
match
the augmented reality.
the house, and so you don't have to worry too much about that. But again, the thing is controls. You know,
Yeah, I forgot about the whole movement thing.
now if
Never mind.
if they could come out, or somebody could come out, like a third party could come out with gloves like the ones that I got for MetaQuest that have like buttons and joysticks with like on the finger or on the palm part of the hand, up by where the
Yes.
thumbs would be touching, that would be advantageous, and that would make it so that all that would be solved. And in addition to that, you could have points on the gloves themselves that the cameras from your headset look for, so it knows exactly what position your hands are in at all times.
That's gonna be hard because
It's not
like,
that
you're
hard.
gonna reach behind.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know, they could always come out with a camera system that connects to that Quest that can track. Or hold on a second, the gloves themselves can come with trackers that have camera inside out technology, which can then track the environment and know exactly where where it is in the environment that the headset has mapped out.
Ooh, we gotta stop talking about this. We're gonna give too many good ideas, and then someone's gonna steal our ideas.
Well, it's not like we can capitalize on any of those.
I mean, we could if we made it happen.
I don't think we could, honestly. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we could. If we had the right people, we could make it happen.
So, as we're talking about that, yes, I do have the UdCap gloves, and those are amazing, but I've had a problem with the left glove in particular. Is its little device that fits on the back of the hand, and its receiver that's connected to the computer. One of those is bad, and so I'm getting one back in the mail, a full glove on the left hand side for that. Hopefully that fixes that entire issue. But it was causing my computer to only capture the movement in like between 15 to 7 frames per second, which you know as well as I do is not smooth. But on the right hand,
That's not.
it was tracking between 117 to 120 frames per second. So obviously, that's what it should be. Whereas this side, it was just like real slow, and it wasn't capturing every movement. So, you know, once I get that in, I will be able to update everybody and maybe even use them entirely instead of using any index controller from here on out. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. And along the lines of VR technology that we've been talking about, we've wonderfully transitioned to a story that's actually on our agenda today. And hey, Zira. And that one is the Bigscreen Beyond 2 VR headset announcement.
Yes.
So,
I'm excited for that one.
announced as the world's smallest and lightest PC VR headset at 107 grams, even lighter than the original Bigscreen Beyond, which is what I have on my head right now, which is
That's
crazy. Okay? It features dual micro OLED displays, 2560 by 2560 per eye, exactly the same as the Bigscreen Beyond. Nothing has changed with that. Pancake lenses, now that's where the difference is. Both of them were pancake lenses, but apparently with the new Bigscreen Beyond 2, it goes beyond that. And it has made massive improvements with the lenses. So for instance, they've increased the size of an internal lens and reduced the size on the external lens. But it gives you a wider field of view. Even wider than, I guess, the Valve Index. Yes. And
dude, that'd be so great.
It's purported to have edge-to-edge clarity.
Ooh,
Edge-to-edge.
I gotta save up.
Now, there's a trade-off with the system that they have set up with the pancake lenses and the adjustable IPD, which is manually adjusted with a tool on either side. So not both of them go in and out. You can adjust one to go in and out, and then you can adjust the other one to go in and out, just in case, you have a deformed face. I don't know. But it allows for a
pretty good.
really good dialing in of the IPD. And, of course, it also supports the customized facial padding that the original Bigscreen Beyond users got with their iPhone scans. And it comes out with now a universal facial interface so that you can just plop that on and anyone can use it. All right. Now, the problem, which I've just mentioned very briefly, is that it's going to have a weird less overlap, weirdness with less overlap of each eye. So it might feel a little more binoculary than the previous headset.
Oh.
Now, there's other headsets out there that are similar to that, but if you can get used to it, which I know I can, it'll be pretty cool to use. So, yeah, and not to mention, all those features I just mentioned, right? Mm-hmm. If you've got the original Bigscreen Beyond, you can reuse that facial interface that you got with the first one. And if you got the sound headset, I can't remember what you call it, the audio strap, the custom audio strap, it still works with the new one, 100%, perfectly fine. They also coming out with a Halo strap, which will put the pressure of everything on the top of the head, on the forehead, top of the head, and on the rear part of the head. And the headset will basically be floating off of your head roughly, just a little bit, so there's no pressure.
So it's like, gotcha.
And
dude,
it's
so nice.
It's designed in such a way as similar to military night vision goggles that attach to the helmets, so you can flip them up. And then you can flip them back down.
Dude. Oh, that'd be so cool, dude. I feel like I'm out in the bushes just so.
Oh my god. So, now, that's not all. Not only is it lighter, it includes less glare. Like way less glare than the original Bigscreen Beyond. It's almost to the point where it's almost non-existent, depending on the situation.
Do you have glare with yours?
I do. And there's not edge-to-edge clarity because there's just a very small sweet spot because of the way it's designed. This is going to alleviate almost all of those issues, 100%. There's a huge sweet spot now, and it's edge-to-edge clarity, which is awesome. And they've got two variants.
Pretty dope.
They got a standard variant that costs the same as the Bigscreen Beyond original. In addition to that, anyone who's ordered the original who hasn't gotten it in the mail yet, you are automatically getting upgraded to the 2.
Aw, dude, come on. What corner I gotta work to make this money, bro?
Well, the 2 is coming out with the same price as the 1 because they're no longer selling the original.
First one.
So it's Bigscreen Beyond 2, same price. So anyone who ordered it, they don't have to worry about getting the first one and then being like, oh man, I should have gotten the second one. Nope, it's automatically going to be sent to you instead of the first one. So
it would suck. Someone just gets theirs like right now and they're just like, oh, this is BS, man. I should have got the second.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they figured that out. And the second variant includes eye tracking.
That's what I want. I want an eye tracking, bro.
It comes with eye tracking. And guess what Frankie got?
Can see how like I'm always looking at 1,000 things. You got eye tracking.
I got the one with eye tracking.
Dude, if I had eye tracking, people would see how much my eyes move. And like they'll see like how much I really don't pay attention to them when they're talking.
You have to be more cognizant.
Dude, yeah, then I actually have to like focus on someone and be like, don't look away. And I'll see something happen and I'll go like this, or I'll just like look over there. And then they'll just be like, hey, what are you looking at? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. You know how many conversations where I don't care what they're talking about,
Yes.
and I'm just looking out to see what's going on around them?
Yes, I'm aware.
Oh my god.
I see that all the time when we're live.
That's not fair. That's not fair. No, one live is different. That's not fair. If I'm in a public lobby and someone just like comes up, they're like, "Hey, what's going on? You're new here," and I'm just like, "Yeah, what's up?" And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, looking in the mirror, and they're like, "Why?"
So yesterday was the day that they started with the pre-orders, and within the first 3 hours, they sold more of the Bigscreen Beyond 2 than they sold in the first 2 months of the Bigscreen Beyond 1.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But
I think word got out on how good it was after the first one.
I mean,
So
yeah,
it kinda,
obviously.
boosted sales.
So, yeah, especially when almost all the issues were taken care of. So the original variant, it's shipping in April. The variant Beyond 2E, which is what they're calling it, the 2E, it ships in May. So, most likely, I'm going to be on my trip when it gets shipped to my house.
Yeah, but you come back to an awesome gift.
That's true. It's very true. So I'm super excited, guys. Frankie's going to have face tracking and eye tracking because I have the Babble that's still supposed to be coming at some point in time. I wonder when it is, but it's going to come. And then you're going to see Frankie moving his mouth and his eyes in a realistic manner because it's tracking the real Frankie's face and eyes. So there we go.
Awesome, dude.
You know what? This is going to solve one issue that I've had for the longest time. And that is, when I'm recording videos, I like to have my script in front of the camera. So the whole entire time I'm looking towards the camera. Well, this damn avatar wants to always look in a different direction when I'm reading off of the script. Are you kidding me? This crazy weird side-eyeing things over to the left or to the right of the camera when I'm supposed to be focusing on the camera, and it just takes the immersion away. I go to edit it, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a good one. I go to edit it, I'm like, son of a
You see, your avatar does what you don't want it to do, but it does what I normally do.
There we go. That was a good explanation. Go to any of the Frankie the Dog videos, and when you see his eyes going off screen, that's royal. All right, so then there's a Varjo XR4. So that's a high-resolution mixed reality headset featuring dual mini LED displays with a 3840 by 3744 resolution per eye. It's pretty high. It has a 120 degree by 105 degree field of view and advanced color accuracy. Starting at $5,990, the XR4 requires a $2,500 per year subscription to access certain advanced mixed reality features. Its model is designed to provide continuous access to Varjo's software and services, ensuring users benefit from the latest updates and support. What do you think about a subscription model when it comes to accessing certain advanced mixed reality features of a VR headset you've already purchased for $6,000?
I mean, one, I think overall that's way too expensive. I mean, the headset, I can understand why the headset costs as much as it is. But the subscription itself, I mean, you're already making bank on the headsets. I mean, if you sell a decent amount of them, you're already making bank on the headsets. The subscription does not need to be that high. You said how much was it? You said 500?
It's
You said it was like 6,000 for the headset.
It's $6,000 for the headset, $2,500 per year subscription.
Oh, okay. What does everybody think I am? Bill Gates? The fuck?
It's like
They think I got money like that?
It's like $22 a month or something. Wait, no.
That's not $22.
$220 a month.
At least at 22. I was like, there's no way your math is right, buddy.
Nope, $220 a month, roughly.
I know I can count my crayons.
Shut up. It's like $220 a month or $225. That's crazy.
Nah, I'm good. I'll pass.
I will pass too.
I mean, if I was rich and I had money like that, like if I had millions of dollars that I could just throw away, no problem. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm down. But man, nah, I'm good, bro. I ain't gonna spend that much money for that.
I agree, Zero. Zero says prices for anything is getting ridiculous.
That is true. Which I just went grocery shopping the other day. Oh my God, prices dropped so much.
Wait, did they?
Yes.
Ooh.
Dude, a head of broccoli used to be like $1.89 just for like one bushel of broccoli. Dude, that thing was like 89 cents.
Ooh. Is it because maybe it's in season or?
No, a lot of stuff
is the economy coming back?
I think it's getting us excited. And then it's going to go, wha-bam, and then surprise, it's expensive again, as always.
You think so?
I think so. I think now is like, oh, let's give them a break. And we're like, oh my God, yes, indulge yourself with all this food that we can buy now so I can spend money elsewhere. And then when I need to do groceries in a couple months, I'm not going to have the money for it because I thought it was going to be as cheap as it was a couple months ago.
All right, well.
And then boom.
You're so conspiratorial. That's the word.
And you struggled to say that sentence.
Shut your mouth before I shut it for you.
Ooh, please.
Ew! Ew! Anyway, moving on. GPU releases and accessories. So I haven't really looked at any of these at all, but there's early review highlights of new GPUs of the NVIDIA RTX 5070 and the 9070 XT, promising significant performance upgrades. I'm not really in for a upgrade anytime soon. I have the 4080 Super, and I enjoy that very much, and I feel like I'm going to skip a little bit. And maybe go to the next generation or the generation after that. So I don't really have an opinion on anything that's releasing right now. Also, Microsoft. Do you have one? No? Okay. Microsoft introduced an Xbox adaptive joystick for accessibility. Not sure what that means, but that sounds really cool for maybe those who are disabled, I guess.
Joystick for access.
And 8-Bit Do announced an N64 style Bluetooth controller. So if you want to look up any of those, or if you want to talk about them, we can definitely do that. Meanwhile, Zira says, sucks. I love eggs. I paid $13 for a dozen eggs. I wonder if eggs are cheaper now.
Yep. Actually, let me look that up.
I'm kind of curious because I don't think they've done a mass unaliving of chickens, a mass killing of chickens in a while. So I feel like maybe the prices will end up dropping because that was the main reason why the eggs jumped up to $13 per dozen.
Yeah, that bird flu.
Yep.
Trump
Every one of those
administration
chickens.
imports hundreds of millions of eggs as prices drop significantly. This is 3 hours ago.
Ooh. So there you go, Zero.
Yes,
you might not be
prices
paying
have dropped.
$13 the next time you get eggs.
Yes, egg prices have dropped. They have decreased from a record high of $8.17 per dozen to $4.90 per dozen within a week, marking one of the sharpest declines in recent history. Additionally, the average price for a dozen large eggs has declined to $6.85 per dozen, reflecting a 15% decrease. Overall, an average price for a dozen grade A large eggs has dropped 32% between January and April.
It's not April yet.
Yeah, I know, but that's what it says here.
Is that like this year?
No, that what I just read was probably old. But what I said earlier about the Trump administration importing hundreds of millions of eggs as prices drop significantly, that's 3 hours ago.
Yeah, and hopefully they figured out and quelled the bird flu that happened. The epidemic of that.
That was ridiculous.
That was a main reason why, Zira, that the prices were upwards up to $13 for a dozen eggs. It's crazy.
I used to get the whole, like, it's a box. It's like 64 eggs or whatever. There's like a box of eggs.
for like $13.
No, it was like $20.
Well, that's not bad.
No, it's like
It's 5 dozen.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there you go. That one. Those big boxes.
Yep, I know what you're
would
talking
get
about.
those.
Yep.
Yep, I would get those because I love eggs. Like, if I get home and I'm like, oh
So
man,
do
there's no
I.
food, rice, eggs, and mix it up with some sriracha, I'm good, bro.
I put some egg in my ramen sometimes, if I have any ramen.
Oh, yes.
Otherwise,
Yes.
I will do bacon and eggs and make a bacon egg sandwich with avocado mayo. Oh my god.
That sounds really good.
Oh, so good.
Are you a fan of spicy?
Not really.
All right. Well, sriracha is not. If you use a little bit of sriracha, it's not as hot. It adds more flavor than it does heat. But if you drown it in sriracha, you'll feel heat.
I kind of feel like
but-
just drowning your face in sriracha. Anyway,
It's good, man. Try it with eggs, bro. I promise you, it's so good. I mean, your stomach might rumble, but it'll be okay.
no thank you. So, on that note, we're moving on to military and science news.
Ooh.
So we got the hypersonic drone development. ATRX and Cummins Aerospace are developing Hellbound, quote-unquote, UAS, a hypersonic drone aiming for Mach 5 speeds. Vertical launch tests planned within 18 to 24 months. What do you think about that?
I think that's actually pretty cool.
I do too.
That's like that Mach 5 is pretty fun. Is it Mach 5 what they were trying to do in the remake of Top Gun?
I don't know.
I think that's what I think it was it Mach 5?
I
think
watched
was
it,
Mach 5.
but I didn't really pay too much attention to those small details.
Okay. Yeah, that was like the importance of the program in the beginning of the movie.
Gotcha.
They had to hit a certain Mach or the program was getting shut down. But anyway.
Cool.
Stupid cable.
And then we got the cancer research breakthrough. I think we talked about this a couple weeks
a
back.
little bit though. Yeah, how they kind of like reversed.
Yeah,
something
they
that was
discovered an
really reversing it.
RNA-based method to reactivate a natural kill switch in cancer
Yep.
cells, preparing them to self-destruct without harming healthy tissue. So, I don't know if too much more information has been released about that, but it's worthy to mention again, in my opinion.
Definitely. I mean, that's definitely something good because we all know cancer's like been like one of the biggest things for people, especially if they experience that in their lives. So you know, it's really good to have a way to be like, oh, you have cancer? No problem. We can fix that up right now.
I agree. And in about a year, you'll find out that all the researchers mysteriously disappeared or committed self unaliveness.
And cancer now costs more to treat.
Yep. All right, now we got
I wouldn't be surprised.
we got some space events happening. So one that already occurred was on March 20th. It was a spring equinox, so it's officially spring.
Yep.
And that marks the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere. Then we have the upcoming solar eclipse. Another one. Another solar thing. A partial
Someone uploaded
solar
pictures of
eclipse.
The last one.
Oh, what?
The last eclipse we had, someone uploaded some pictures.
Oh, yeah,
I
and
was
then
like,
that,
man,
and
I
then
didn't
that,
get to see it, so I got to see it.
and then that blood red moon also. That was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
dude, I should have went outside and go looked at it, man.
I didn't. So a partial solar eclipse visible at sunrise on March 29th in North America and Europe, with up to 90% coverage in certain areas. So that'll be kind of cool. To take a look at that. That'll be nice.
Yeah, I want to check that one out. When's the 29th?
Visible at sunrise.
That's next Saturday. I'll be sleeping. No, I'll be up.
And then we had the recent lunar eclipse and planetary activity. So there was that total lunar eclipse, the blood moon I was talking about, visible earlier in the week.
Yep.
Then the Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter highly visible in recent evening skies. We talked about that as well last time.
Yes, we did. Did you get to see that one? Did you take a picture of it?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
So it's cool and everything. The kids got a kick out of it because they got to see some of them just with the naked eye.
Oh,
That was kind of cool.
We're gonna buy a telescope.
We have one, but the kids have strewn the parts about. So, yeah. Because kids will be kids, I guess.
Yeah.
Jerks.
That's okay.
So, speaking of jerks, Florida Man Story of the Week.
Oh, yes, please. Let's get into this one.
All right. You ready? You ready? This is going to be kind of funny. So,
Always ready.
in a recent incident at a Publix store in the Villages, Florida, 50-year-old Londarell Maurice Harris was arrested after being caught consuming a pack of shrimp in a Snickers bar while riding a motorized shopping cart. The total value of the items he attempted to steal was $45.60.
That sounds like a terrible combination.
I know. What the hell?
That sounds like I can just picture the flavor because I hate seafood, so I will remember the flavor. I can just picture eating seafood and then just going, I'm gonna eat this chocolate peanut nougat thing, and just, it sounds so gross.
Can you imagine getting arrested for stealing $45 worth of stuff? Especially if it's...
Can you imagine getting arrested? You still have like
sushi and
rice
candy bar.
and chocolate all over your face.
Sushi and candy bar.
I'm still not it.
I'm trying to pay for
face.
it. I'm trying to pay for it.
You can't pay for what doesn't exist.
Oh. That's funny. So let's move on, shall we? Because that was funny, but it wasn't as funny as a lot of Florida Man stuff. But this is actually a recent thing that happened.
But we had fun with it. It's all that matters.
Yeah. Of course. So moving on. Oh, and also to go back to the cancer kill switch, I want to go more in depth into that. I forgot to go in depth on that. So the researchers at the Jackson Laboratory and Yukon Health were the ones that discovered that method to reactivate a dormant molecular kill switch in the cancer cells. They targeted the TRA2B RNA with antisense oligonucleotides, ASOs. They can restore the natural cell death mechanism, offering a potential new avenue for cancer therapeutics. The approach could lead to the development of RNA-based treatments that specifically induce cancer cell death without harming healthy cells. So that's a little more information on that for for a little more perspective of what we were talking about. I failed to.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I failed to give that information as thoroughly as I should have. So moving on. Gene Hackman's death. We talked about this.
Yes, we did.
So
talk about that.
there's new
But
developments.
We did not talk about the cause.
New developments. So these new developments, as of today, have emerged regarding the deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa. The couple was found deceased in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home on February 26th. Arakawa reportedly died from hantavirus pulmonary syndrome around February 11th, while Hackman, who had advanced Alzheimer's disease, succumbed to heart complications approximately a week later. So, recent reports indicate that Arakawa made a phone call to a medical clinic on February 12th, seeking medical advice, which suggests she was alive later than initially believed. Additionally, the Hackman family has taken legal action to block the release of the couple's autopsy reports and investigation details, citing privacy concerns. These developments have deepened the mystery surrounding their deaths, with authorities continuing their investigation into the circumstances.
Wait, you said he had dementia, didn't he?
He had Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's. It was one of the two. I remember. I must have read the wrong thing.
But he succumbed to heart complications approximately a week after Arakawa reportedly died on February 11th. So I believe Arakawa was still alive later than that. But it's still confusing because did Gene Hackman just walk around her body?
Well, I mean, he could have like been like, "Oh, she's." I was just thinking about this earlier when I was looking at this before we went on. Like, he could have been like, "Oh, she's taking a nap. Let me not bother her," and then went about his day and just like, he's just gonna keep forgetting. So, he comes back like a couple days later, and he's like, "Man, it stinks in here. Oh, she's taking a nap. Let me not bother her. She must be tired." So I can understand his so I can see why he didn't call or anything, because obviously he's like, he just thinks she's probably relaxing or resting. But I don't know. I mean, I don't have Alzheimer's. I've never really experienced it, so I don't really know how to deal with the situation or how someone acts upon that. But I just think he didn't want to bother her, that she was resting. That's what I would do if my wife was sleeping. I wouldn't want to bother her.
I would agree with that. It's a good assessment. So,
makes sense to me.
with that out of the way, we got Selena Gomez's album Drama.
Yeah.
Gomez's upcoming album, I Said I Love You First, rumored to contain references to ex-Justin Bieber. And she recently announced her engagement to producer Benny Blanco, whoever that is.
Yeah. See, now this is what I think is stupid. She's engaged. She's engaged or getting engaged, whichever, to Benny Blanco, right? But she's still talking about her ex. Like, there's not one person that I've said I love you to first. I promise, I was never the first person to ever say I love you and be the first person to tell them that. Like, I'm sure they've heard it many times before. But I just don't understand. Like, why are you still talking about your ex and you're already engaged? Like, the fuck?
Seems to be a thing that happens with a lot of artists, I guess.
Artists?
Like,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Sorry, I had to clear my throat.
No, I got you.
Do you wanna talk about the next thing? Because you did say it had some interest in talking about it.
I don't really have information about it. It was just gonna be release dates for the upcoming movies that are coming out within like the next 2 weeks.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Alrighty. So you can stop me at any time if you want to talk about any of these. I don't have any information on what they are, besides what kind of movie they are. So, new movie releases. March 21st, Snow White is coming out. The Alto Knights, a movie named Locked. Magazine Dreams. Misericordia. I have no idea what the fuck that is. March 28th, we have Death of a Unicorn. That sounds pretty funny to me. The Woman in the Yard. A Working Man. The Friend. I think this is supposed to say The Penguin Lessons. I might have fat-fingered that. I don't know. Audrey's Children. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip. Holy Cow. My Love Will Make You Disappear. And Janice Ian, Breaking Silence. March 30th, you have Kiara. And April 2nd, you have a movie called Screamboat. But I know the missus is super excited about Snow White.
So, I've noticed some of these have really long names.
Yeah.
Are we sure they're
Alexander...
movies?
Yeah, they're movies. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip is a comedy family movie. The Woman in the Yard is a drama horror thriller. Short name. Janice Ian, Breaking Silence is a documentary, biography, and history movie. And Screamboat is a comedy horror.
Screamboat.
I do want to check that one out. I do want to dive in to see that one a little bit more. See who's in it.
Be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
The heck with that, dude? My house just vibrated.
So yeah, I think that's it, isn't it?
Oh, but I mean, I got a couple of things I could just run into real quick.
Go ahead.
But you talking about the movies?
No, I mean like in totality.
Oh, in totality? No, I mean, there's a couple things I want to bring up. So I'm not really a big religious guy. I don't know about you. I know you go to church here and there, or I don't know how often you go, but I'm sure you heard of Pope Francis. I think everyone knows who Pope Francis is. In the past couple weeks, he was suffering from a double pneumonia. But great news, he's made an amazing recovery and no longer requires mechanical ventilation, so that's great. I don't know anybody's interest in that, but I know some people do get concerned about things like that, so I just want to throw that out there. Scams. These are big. Scams. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. There are plenty types of scams, and it could be as simple as an email. It could be a stupid message that someone sent you thinking that they're sending you a video. Be careful on what you click on. It happens all the time in Discord. People will click on a link, they get scammed out of something, and their accounts get hacked. But luckily, it's not like a money scam in that case. But anyway, be careful. If you do not initiate from a company to receive an email, do not click on any other links. Go to the website itself, call the company, deal with them on their own. Do not click on any links and emails that you did not authenticate from yourself or had them send you. Besides that, we're gonna get that out of the way because that doesn't care. But Frankie, I got some questions for you, buddy. We're gonna learn a little bit about Frankie today.
Okay.
We're learning about Frankie. Besides the fact that he's a green dog with red bolts.
What's the questions?
Ooh, I'm so glad you added the S at the end. What got you into creating content / streaming?
Oh my lord.
This is a good one, right?
I'm gonna tell you that it started out as a social experiment and it's moved on from there. Honestly, in terms of going live, I always saw it as promoting what I was creating in terms of content on my channel. So my Words from Frankie series is one that I love. It's a beloved thing of mine. And even though I haven't made an episode recently, I will be getting back into that soon, by the way. That was the main reason why I went live, and I wanted to do something positive for the world in some way, shape, or form, and do it while being something that is interesting to look at, entertaining to look at, entertaining to hear. So, it's pretty much what I do.
I love it. Everyone wants to see a talking dog.
I know.
I mean, everyone does want to talk to their dog, to be honest with you. I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder what he thought about this moment when he fell off the couch.
Especially a dog that is green.
Yeah, a green one. Yeah. I've never seen one of these before.
I mean, come on. He was chosen and created for a specific reason, and that was because a Frankenstein dog, just like Frankenstein's monster, is comprised of multiple individuals that make up one new individual. So you can look at it as each of us is basically a part of everything that we've experienced in our lives, everything and everyone. There isn't one thing that does not affect each and every one of us in terms of experiences. It changes us fundamentally, constantly. So the you now is the culmination of all of those past life experiences with people and events.
Very true.
So
Very true.
he's kind of like a one-to-one creation of each and every person who watches.
I like that. Very. Creative, very unique, and I don't think that's an answer normally people give. That's a very unique answer. That's not an answer that anybody would just come up with. Here's a good one. Are you a collector of any sort?
I love collecting electronics, especially computer stuff.
That one. Should have guessed that one.
My wife collects books.
Oh, books are nice. I actually just got. I bought these 2 books, but it's because they have gold siding on the pages. That's about it. But other than that, that's the only reason why I bought them. Ooh, okay. Do you have any big plans or any projects that you are working on that you would like to discuss or start spreading awareness about?
Maybe a few things. We are going on a RV trip starting May 1st, and we'll be going down into the Southwest. So we'll start in Ohio. We'll be moving into, starting in Colorado, going to Garden of the Gods. We'll go through Montana for like 5 minutes to get to Ohio. Then, not Ohio. Sorry, Utah. Wow, what is wrong with me? So, let's start over. Start over. We're going to Colorado. We're going to hit Garden of the Gods. We're going to go through Montana for like 5 minutes to get to Utah. And we're going to be visiting a TikTok creator, a fellow TikTok creator of the wife's. And also go to her agency's headquarters. Then we're going into California to Los Angeles. And we're going to spend some time at a beach and some other places down there, and visiting a old friend of the wife's who was also a teacher of hers as well during high school.
Oh, wow.
And then we will then be moving into wow, did I forget one already? Holy crap, I'm
Ohio. You never got to Ohio yet.
So there's a Colorado, then there's the Utah, then there's Nevada. We have to go to Nevada before California. So Nevada in Las Vegas, we're going through a storage facility for the wife that she has, a bunch of stuff in storage. We're going to get rid of all of that and ship back and or take in the RV, probably the stuff that we want. And then we're going to go to California. Then we're leaving California. Then we're going to Arizona to see my half-brother and my uncle and aunt. And we'll be there for a day or two. And we'll be moving on to New Mexico to see alien stuff, Roswell, stuff like that. And then afterwards, we're going to go to Texas, down to San Antonio. We're going to check out the Alamo and the Riverwalk and maybe go to SeaWorld. I don't know. And then we're going to head probably back home. Yes. Now, here's the thing, guys. We have the basics of the trip covered. Okay? We can make a full trip. We got the money for the full trip. But I did set up a donation page on my website for the RV fund in case we want to extend it longer. We don't have a time limit. We have a monetary limit. So there's a lot of people out there who have wanted to meet me, other creators, and also people who are fans. And honestly, the only way that I can do that is if I have more funding. I have to extend the rental beyond the 27 days that we have set up in order to accomplish something like that. Because I have a whole family, they're young kids. We can't travel for more than like 5 hours or maybe at the most 9 hours a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that means I'd have to extend it if I'm going to go out of my way 4 hours out of the way to meet or see someone. So that's what that's for. And if we get a bunch of donations somehow, I doubt it, but if we do and we don't use all of it, that's going to be put towards the next RV trip. So,
and then he can come see me.
that will be the next RV trip. If this one goes well, we're going to do the Southeast. Yep. During wintertime.
I'm excited. Oh, fuck.
What?
I hate winter.
It's not so bad in South Carolina, is it?
It's a wet cold. Yeah, up north it's more of a dry cold. Down here is a wet cold.
Can't be that bad.
It sucks, dude. I hate it.
It's like what, 50 degrees?
It's just as
40 degrees?
it gets down there, but like the real feel feels much colder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does get chilly, but for the people who are born and raised here, it's not that bad. But
is there any ice?
Even no. So it doesn't really snow or ice here. It did earlier this year, but that's because we had that big old storm that came by. But other than that, normally it doesn't snow. Or I think the last time I saw snow, besides the last one that just happened, was 2017.
Okay, so then that won't be so bad. So
yeah, no, you don't have to worry about that.
Our next trip, we're going to be heading into the Southeast. So that's going to include Louisiana and Florida and all those other states in between, including probably South Carolina, maybe not North Carolina. Maybe that'll be like the delineation between the Northeast and the Southeast. I don't know.
I would say so.
We'll have to pay attention to that when that happens. But that is if our first RV trip goes really well. And if it goes really well, we'll be doing it again and again and again and again and again. So rest assured that Frankie and the clan are going to be Frankie and the family, the Porkfather and the family. They're going to be visiting every single state we can.
So if you don't hit South Carolina, let me know. If you stop in like Georgia or Florida, let me know. I don't mind driving out to go say what's up. Especially if you hit Florida, let me know what part. I mean, Orlando's only 5 hours away. I don't know what part you're going to drive to. But Savannah is only an hour. So, I mean, Atlanta's 5 hours, I think.
I feel like a good idea
4,
would be just to travel along the entire outside of Florida and maybe hit Miami.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever you choose, let me know. That way I can kind of like plan it. If you get that far.
Absolutely. I will definitely let you know. But we'll be traveling into...
Sure.
We will definitely be hitting South Carolina, I'm sure.
All right, perfect.
Anyway, other than that, once I get the gloves all taken care of, I'm going to start a new series of live streaming that will include me doing some video gaming while in VR.
Oh yeah, I remember we talked about this.
Yeah. So
that's gonna be fun.
That'll be cool. Or I will be attaching it to the VTubing that I have. But if I get that Bigscreen Beyond 2, it's gonna be perfect because I'm gonna have eye and face tracking eventually, and it'll be like you're watching someone actually gaming, but it's Frankie the dog.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be sick. I'm excited to see that. Hopefully you get that in time so that way you can do that.
Yes.
But with that being said, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Still a content creator and maybe a voice actor.
Ooh, heck yeah. We gonna make that money, boy.
Definitely, doing some voice acting gigs. I definitely want some. So
I've been looking around for
yeah,
not much right now. It's a bunch of little silly stuff. If you had the opportunity to change one thing in the world, what would it be and why?
Does this include past?
Past, present, future, whichever. You can change one thing. Anything. Yeah, the scritches. Is that a loaded question?
I don't know.
There's a lot of things. I mean, I don't think changing one thing would make that much of a difference.
That's why I don't know. I can't pick. There's so many things that I would love to change, and I don't know. I haven't put them in some kind of list of priorities. In terms of changing things. I can list a couple.
Sure. I mean, that's fine.
If I could go back in time, in 2010, I would tell myself to invest $1,000 into Bitcoin back when it was worth less than a penny.
Yep. I would have done that too.
And I would have told myself not to spend the 38 Bitcoins I had.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay.
That's terrible.
Another one would be probably changing anything in the world. Not going back to eliminate, the big H in World War II, but instead going back before that and trying to reform him before he became who he was. Change his direction.
Gotcha. Change that one pinnacle moment that made him
ever so slightly.
Yep.
It could have been anything, to be honest. It could have been something small. But obviously we know it's not anything small. If you were going to eat your last meal, what would it be?
Steak and mashed potatoes.
Ah, dude, that's my kind of boy right there. I would have just said the same thing.
I'm just saying, that's an easy one.
What's one childhood memory you will never forget, good or bad?
Oh. It's really hard. See, the way my brain works
a lot
is
of good memories.
all the things that don't really matter I forget, good or bad.
Same.
So there's not a lot of memories I have back when I was a kid that was like that at all. So honestly, I don't know.
It is a pretty loaded question. Do you want to skip that one?
There's a lot of memories, but all the ones I really do remember are like bad. I know there was good stuff that happened, but being stung by bees, or not bees, but wasps, over and over and over and over and over again when I was a kid.
Did you say it?
Did you just say good stuff?
I said I had no good stuff that I remember.
Oh! I thought you said I know there was a lot of good stuff.
And no, there was no good stuff that I remember. But it's mostly been bad. So like I said, the wasps, and I don't know, flipping my bike and landing on my crotch on the bar. That thing I remember.
Dude, I felt that.
Getting hit by a car, I remember that. Getting hit by the Bronco. I remember spinning in front of a fireplace with a Coke, drinking that, and then getting dizzy and falling down and breaking my head open on the fireplace.
None of these sound fun.
I remember going up a slide in the wintertime, a metal slide, and slipping and hitting the bottom of my chin on the top of the slide.
Do you have a scar in the middle of your chin?
I do.
Me too, dude. I don't know how I got this scar either.
The two oldest have the same scars.
Is it just a scar? Like, were they born with the scar there, or like did they?
They did something to get that there.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I don't know. I don't remember hitting my chin on anything. The only thing I could think of is when I was younger, I kind of fell in the driveway at my grandparents' house. But other than that, I don't really think I've hit my chin on anything.
Huh.
Anyway, one last question for you.
This one's a very, very broad one. So how do you feel about having a special guest for the podcast soon? And who would you like to have? Do you want to discuss that now, or would you like the community to choose?
I think the community could choose. We don't need to be the people that choose.
That's why I asked you.
But,
I'm pretty sure we can come up with a video, and we can like just come up with like a little silly video, like, "Hey, who would you like to see?" And then blah, 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 blah,
I think that's a good idea.
Questions for that person.
But I also think we need to get a little bit bigger first.
No, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Once we got, a couple hundred viewers,
that'd be nice.
we will think about inviting people on. But until then, we're gonna keep it low key, just you and me.
Cool, I like it. I'm all for it. Is there anything that you want to touch before I go into this air show announcement?
I got nothing. Go ahead.
Alrighty. Guys, listen up. If you are anywhere near, or you've never been to anywhere near or somewhere close by to Marine Corps Air Station Beaufort here in South Carolina, there is an air show that's happening April 12th and April 13th. Now, the tickets for general admission are free, and that's the only way you're gonna get on base is if you have these tickets, okay? Base access begins at 8:30 a.m. The event gates don't open till 9 a.m., so you will not be able to go onto the flight line and see like the little shops that are set up there, the food trucks and all that, etc., etc., etc. If you want to get tickets, you can go to www.beaufortairshow.com, and you can get your free admission tickets from there. Now, there are tickets that you can pay for. They are like $188 for like literally VIP tented, where you get free food, free beverage, you have your own private bathroom. Those are more of the VIP sections, so you do have to pay for those explicit seats. If you want bleachers, you do have to pay for those. The bleachers aren't as much. I think it's like $90 to $120 per person. They do have kid prices as well. Now, if you've never been to an air show, let me tell you, it is fantastic. It is fun, and it is very loud. So make sure you guys, if you guys go, you bring like headphones or something, earplugs, something. If you've never been to one, you'll see static displays of military aircraft and vehicles. You'll see flight demonstrations. You'll get to see the Blue Angels. They'll be there. You will also get to see the F-35 Bravo, which is my aircraft that everyone always asks, what do you do for work? That's my aircraft that I work on. I work on ejection seats, so you get to see that aircraft there, and you get to see how awesome it is. It's super loud. It's super awesome. There will be a boom boom demonstration. So right now they're doing pyrotechnics trainings, just to make sure that everything goes well and timely for the air show. Also, if you don't know, the F-35 Bravo is basically like the fancier version of the Harrier, but it's the only aircraft right now besides the Harrier that can hover and maneuver, basically float still and spin in a circle and then take off again. So if you guys are interested in doing that, look up the air show. Remember, it's April 12th, April 13th. If you've never been to one, it's definitely cool. It's definitely gonna be fun. I'm gonna be there with the missus. I'm gonna be there with my mom and two others. So if you guys wanna come by and say hi, I'll let you guys know what date I'm there, and then you guys can contact me there, and I'll see you guys if you guys decide to come. But besides that, check it out. Remember, tickets, free admission, www.beaufortairshow.com. That was fun.
All right then. Okay, so one little update I have for you. I have not received any information from Bunderkin as of yet, in terms of a denial or acceptance.
Okay, they did mention that they probably won't get to everyone, but the controller is currently. Okay, all right, I got a stupid notification. They did mention that they may not get to everybody, but I wouldn't sell yourself short yet, because either one, they haven't gotten to your audition yet, or two, they're holding it on a tier system and thinking that it's good over these amounts. So before they reach out and say no to you, they want to check everything else first. So it could be multiple things. I'm really hoping that they're holding on to you right now, and they will hopefully say something very shortly and let you know. And I'm actually rooting that you do get an email that says they want you for that, because I think that's going to be pretty awesome. So if you haven't heard anything yet, I wouldn't be discouraged. But keep your head up, and hopefully you hear from them soon saying yes.
I think they forgot about me. Anyway,
No.
I think that's going to be it, guys. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching.
Guys.
Please let everybody know that you watched us if you liked it. And maybe we can grow this here community. 2 vets one day. I think that would be amazing.
Be sure to share.
Yes.
We would love it if you guys would share it.
Agreed. So if there's anything else, I know there's 2 viewers who are watching. Would you like to say anything? Anyone who's in the chat right now? There's 2 of you.
I think it's one. One's me.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I think that's it.
I'll say something. Hi, Frankie.
All right, then. I guess that's it. All right. See y'all later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh my God! Stop it, Frankie.
Oh, yeah, one more thing.
Oh.
Say it with
Thanks
me.
for watching our podcast. We hope to see you next time.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe so you always know when we're going live again.
I was so lost. I was like, what is he getting at?
Thank you so much
Wait,
for all the
one
support
more
you guys
thing.
showing
Say,
us.
what
We
am I supposed
really,
to say? Where's my
really
punchline here?
appreciate it. In time, as our community starts to grow, we look forward to having special guests. Many of your choices that you guys tell us, or people that we find interesting, would like to have on the show. So if you're interested in this, let us know. If you haven't already, be sure to follow Frankie the Dog at Bolted and Frisky, and Royal at The Royal Sergeant Annie on TikTok. Most likely they're going live on TikTok shortly after this. They also have other social medias that you can find in their profiles. Be sure to check them out. Once again, we truly appreciate the support, and we would love to see you guys again soon. But for now, we'll see you later. Goodbye!